For instance, I found Bjork when I was like 10. I was very fascinated by her when I found her. I think I found like the video for Human Behavior. I think it's easy when you think that something is really fun. It's hard to say no to things. I needed to get to know myself without being an artist. Music and pop music and all art, it's just a part of life. So whatever life you're living, it reflects into the art that you're making. Actually, I'm the one who's awesome.
Yeah,
like
that's so cool.
like maybe you are too, but I'm actually pretty fabulous.
Yeah,
and amazing.
I love that.
And acclaimed.
Hi, so I'm here with Tove Styrke.
That's really good.
Yes. So were you born in like a small town or?
Yeah, I was actually.
Yeah.
I was born in Umeå, which is up north in Sweden.
Oh.
It's tiny.
How many people are there?
Dark.
You know?
Like 100,000? Yeah.
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 Are your parents from there as well, or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So they live their whole life there, and all your family's there?
Like, most of my family, they've done detours.
Yeah.
Like, lived in Stockholm for a couple of years, maybe 10 years even, and then they've gone back. You know? But I haven't gone back yet. I'm still out exploring.
Is there like a main like industry in Umeå?
I don't know. Punk, maybe. No, but I don't know. Like people, because we have like a big university, so people like they do science stuff. Like smart people move there. Yeah, and there's actually a lot of musicians there.
Oh wow! Yeah. What were you like growing up? Can you describe yourself?
I'm kind of a nerd.
Really?
Yeah.
What subjects?
No, but like just kind of, you know, geeky, a little bit lonely kid. Like I didn't have too many friends. But like I was kind of, maybe this is so narcissistic, but I was like the kind of kid that I would like to have. Like I liked to read books and be at home and like do things on my own.
So more like introverted, or?
Yeah, a little bit like that. And I used to wear like funky things. Yeah. My mom used to kind of warn me like, well, people might comment on that if you wear that, and I was like, it's fine. I don't care. I want to.
Yeah. So for all the like the books and everything in young age, did your parents like want you to do like, I guess like read more? Did they push you that way compared to like computer games and stuff, or like internet?
No. I mean, like my parents, they have always just been supportive. Of whatever I've been interested in, and music as well. Like I'm still kind of like thankful for them. Towards them, because they always let me sing and make a lot of noise at home. They never told me to stop, and if they hadn't done that, I probably wouldn't have, you know, continued doing it.
How do you think that early stages, like introverted or reading a lot alone, like shape the person you are now, or the type of music you make?
Not sure. I mean, I'm still kind of nerd in some sense.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of have to be to do songs. I mean, I can sit for ages and ages with one thing and go over it and think, is this the best way to do this? So you have to be kind of like that, I guess. To spend that much time on something as I do.
And your mom was like a ballet teacher, right?
Well, no, actually, she just worked at a dance school. I mean, like, she was a dancer when she was like 20-ish. And then she had my bigger sister. She's 12 years older than me.
Oh, wow.
And then she just started like working there. And being like putting things together. And my dad, he had a music store.
And didn't he have like a hit record or something?
He did in
like
Sweden.
1975.
But that's way before my time. Like I have no idea.
Damn.
But that was like for him.
What kind of music store like did it have? What type of records?
Not records, like music instruments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and that was good because he kind of cool because he could always bring stuff home. Like we always had instruments in the house. So I could play keyboard or whatever.
So he taught you a lot?
He tried, but I was kind of lazy. I just wanted to sing basically. So I just used like a keyboard to to have it as an instrument for myself to sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have like a singer in your family, or how did you even like start to love it so much?
I don't know. I just always did it.
Yeah.
I always did it. I don't know if it's like an attention thing or something, but I was obsessed with this.
Wow.
I wanted to be able to sing like Whitney Houston. So I used to sing all of like those songs.
Yeah.
Like big songs. I still can't. But that made
so
me
good.
practice so much that I became decent at least.
You're so good. What kind of music did your parents play in the house when you were growing up?
Like, my parents were the kind of people, like, and I'm a little bit the same. They didn't play a lot of music at home.
Oh, yeah?
And I don't listen to a lot of music at home, and I think it might be because, like, if you work with something where you constantly have music around you, when you get home you kind of want to just relax your ears a little bit.
Yeah.
And both of them had that, like, it was always noise around them. So I think a little bit like that.
Yeah.
So most of the music that I listened to or started listening to when I was younger, I found by myself. Like, I found, how am I this, like, exhausted? For instance, I found Bjork when I was like 10. I was very fascinated by her when I found her. I think I found like the video for Human Behavior on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's how I got introduced to her music, and then I just downloaded everything I could find with her. And I was so fascinated. And most things that I've been listening to, Bob Dylan was the same. Like, none of my parents, nobody listened to him, but I found him. And then and you also with Bjork, you get this like, oh, this is my artist, this is mine, because I found it.
Yeah.
You get this strong connection in
Yeah. You went to school until how old
16.
were you? So 16.
Yeah, I dropped out when I was 17 actually. Yeah.
So it was right before like the Swedish Idol?
It was after it.
Oh, after.
Yeah, because after it, I started working on an album where I started writing. And, I mean, I was gonna finish school, but I didn't really have time.
Yeah.
And I just started working at that age.
Would you say that the Swedish Idol made you, like, more and more interested in a whole career in music, or were you already, like, before you joined that already, like, okay, I'm gonna quit school, I'm gonna do this full time?
Before it?
Yeah.
No, I never, like, I mean, because I was so young, I never really thought about it in that way. I just knew that I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Like, whether or not if I could have it as a full-time job.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do music. Like, so, and then I did that and I got a record deal. And then that led to me starting to, like, make things.
And I read in, like, a previous interview that, like, Swedish Idol, it's hard because, like, you're known, but you're not known for, like, your specific songs. You're just known as, like, a personality, and it's more of, like, a fame type of contest.
Yeah, and I think I think a lot of people, maybe not now, I think people have learned this maybe now, but when I was on there, I think a lot of people, they thought that if I win this, then I made it. But the only thing you've actually done is become, like, your face is famous.
Yeah.
And then you have all this work left to do to make people actually recognize you for something that you've done. You have to make something. That's where the work starts. I think I kind of understood that early on. So the first thing I did when I was done was starting to write an album.
Yeah.
And make something that I felt proud of.
But before you joined the Idol, you didn't release any songs under your own name at all, or you've been writing songs, like, over the years, right?
No, that was when I started, because afterwards I was starting to collaborate with these people to make an album, and you know, you have sessions with people.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you don't write, a lot of the times the artist is with on the session, you know, sort of contribute, and it was first, that was like when I realized that I can write. I have good ideas and I can do this. And I started, like, writing things on my own and sending to my A&R and stuff, and it was like, you can write.
Yeah.
Like, how did you not know that you can write? You can write. And since then I've been doing it.
So it was not even stressful at all to like start like getting into sessions like immediately, because you were just going from like playing, I guess, instruments on your own and singing alone to like full on like with all these people pushing you kind of.
No, not pushing me.
Yeah.
I always got to do things on my own terms and take my time with everything. I never had a deadline.
Yeah.
I've never had a deadline.
Yeah.
If I didn't make it myself. But like I've always had a good relationship with my label. I know all people don't, but
Yeah.
I really had like,
That's really good.
I always felt very much in control of my own career, even though I was really young when I started.
How would you describe your song change since the early ones that you made in the sessions compared to now?
I mean, like, your language gets better. English is my second language. So I found, like, just grammatical, is that a word? Is that the word?
I think so. I don't know. Suddenly I was like...
I find things in my old songs that are not right. Like, that's not how you say this. But I still think it's quite charming. Yeah.
And then after you did the Idol, you had a short break, right? How old were you when you had that break?
Well, that was because I did the first album, and it went really well. So it just, and I think it's easy when you think that something is really fun. It's hard to say no to things. You just want to do everything because it's fun and it is what you want to do. So it's really hard to sort of prioritize.
Yeah.
And also sometimes it can be hard to understand your own limits and that you have limits. Like you can't do everything. You're not a superhuman. You're not Beyonce. So it just became too much. And I decided to take a break and I moved home to Umeå. And
so you were living by yourself?
In Stockholm.
Oh, in Stockholm. Whoa.
Yeah. So
you
then
were still really young then, right?
Yeah, I moved back when I was like 19 or something.
Wow.
18 or 19.
Was that difficult, like living by yourself at a young age back then?
No, it was fine.
Yeah.
I'm pretty tough. And I also had my sister in the same town, so it was it was alright.
That makes things easier.
Yeah, and I worked a lot, so you're not home that much.
Yeah.
But I moved back and I lived there and like just took my time for almost a year.
Yeah.
And I think I really needed that to sort of, I needed to get to know myself without being an artist.
Yeah.
In the situation. I needed to get to know myself without my job. Just who am I when I'm just hanging out with my friends?
Yeah.
Who am I when I'm by myself? That was really necessary, I think, for me to do that.
The type of music that you made in that period, was it different from the ones you were doing before that period?
Yeah. But also it's a constant thing. It changes all the time. Because I got a different perspective on life now than I did a year ago. So I mean, like, and the music changes with that.
Yeah.
So you write from different perspectives all the time. I think it was Bjork who said that you're basically, like, you're not really evolving like that. You're actually just, you're looking at the same thing, but you're circling around it.
And
seeing
that's
it from different angles. And that, I think that's
really
kind of cool way to look at it.
Did you have a mentor when you were growing up? Or anyone to guide you because you were pretty young?
Not really.
Yeah.
I've always been kinda independent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you weren't really like afraid of someone scamming you at a young age or like a bad deal or anything?
No. And I also, like, I've been lucky that never happened.
Yeah. It's really lucky.
Yeah. Because it's so easy to get stuck in deals that you don't need, really.
Yeah. When did you feel that you were comfortable to move out of Umeå and to start again?
I spent I think it was 10 months there, something like that. And then I moved back, and also that time was really good because I did basically nothing. I wrote things, but I didn't work at all.
Yeah. What
and
made you want to
Yeah, but the thing is, if you do nothing for a long time, you get bored, and when you get bored, you kind of realize what it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause a really good thing that you can do, for instance, is like just be home. Like be home by yourself, and like don't touch your phone or your computer, and see what you start doing.
Yeah.
Like
that's interesting, actually. Yeah.
Because it's so easy to keep yourself occupied and to entertain yourself. And if you try and not occupy your mind and just do nothing and be bored, it's kind of interesting to see what you start doing.
Yeah.
So I did that, but in life.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
really cool. What made you wanted to have more of like a political activist kind of standpoint in your songs?
I didn't decide that.
Yeah.
I just think that music and pop music and all art, it's just a part of life. So whatever life you're living, it reflects into the art that you're making. And in a sense, that way, everything that a person makes is political.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just separate life and art. They're always connected, you know,
Yeah.
they influence each other.
Where did you get that mindset of? Was it some singers that had that? Because, I mean, some singers are not, try to stay away from the whole political activism type thing.
I mean, I always just make music for me. And with Kido, my last album, I went through a phase of growing up and reflecting on the world rather than on myself, or like my place in the world. So looking at things that make me upset and reacting at them was kind of a natural part of that.
Wow, yeah.
You know, so it was something that I needed to write for me.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So for your music video, Mistakes, like, it's so amazing.
Thank you.
Where did the whole concept come from?
Oh, it was actually, I've been looking to work with this amazing director, Joanna Nordahl, for ages. And it finally worked out, because she's busy and I'm busy, and it never, you know, it's always, you know. But it worked out, and I called her and I had a bunch of ideas, like tons, 1,000 notes, probably, like, we need this, we need that, we need this vibe, we need this kind of light, we need these colors, and all of the things. And she knew a guy who owned like 300 90s wedding dresses. You know, Rachel.
So that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where that came from. We sort of merged everything into this romantic, very anti-romantic wedding, Runaway Bride thing.
How did the bride thing even like come about?
Because of the dresses.
Oh.
Like we got all these dresses. What can we do with them? And also, it feels like I think it's an interesting thing to use as a visual concept. Like the bride, the pressure, and Mistakes for me, it's a lot about letting go of your ideal self. Like just not, it's about like, you know, like it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to be actually kind of horrible, like just and you know, the perfect bride, that's like the image of the perfect woman. And just you know, have her do some fun things. You know.
How do you think you've grown as a person since when you started?
I think I'm just a little bit more chill now, and I'm better at saying no. And
that's hard.
And I think I'm better at realizing my own worth, because it's really simple. Because it, like, probably it's like this in a lot of different businesses and industries. But especially in this one that I'm in, people are really, really good at sort of telling you how good they are. Like, you need me. You need me to do this. Like if it's a, you know, a label person or a photographer or a producer, like whoever, like people are really good at claiming their own worth.
Yeah.
And suddenly you feel like, oh, I'm just, you know, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just some person who's here enjoying the ride, and like, you know, it's easy to forget that none of this would happen if it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Like that I'm the engine. You can't forget that.
Yeah.
And I think I've gotten better at realizing that, like, actually I'm the one who's awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
that's so cool.
like maybe you are too, but I'm actually pretty fabulous.
Yeah.
And amazing.
I love that.
And acclaimed.
Last question.
Yeah.
What do you want to be remembered for?
That's a hard one. Like, I make something that I feel very strongly for. Like, I live something and I put it in a song and I give it away. And somebody else finds something that's important for them in that thing that I made. And it brings us together.
Yeah.
In a sense. It's like making friends. Like, I can think about that and that makes me feel less lonely. And I think if I can do that, if somebody else can feel less lonely, like they're not alone in this feeling and like going through something, that would be kind of nice.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.